All right, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. Coming to you live here from the GAMA convention in Reno, Nevada, at the Peppermill Hotel, Casino, Spa, everything.
It has everything.
Exactly. But let's get some introductions going. As usual, I'm your host, Matt, and I am joined with Vincent from Lucky Duck Games.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing today, Vincent?
Very good, very good.
Con treating you good so far?
What's that, sorry?
Con's treating you good so far?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know we had the pleasure of showing off Fruit Ninja on our stream before.
That's right.
But you've got your most recent Kickstarter. It's currently live on Kickstarter to show off for us today.
That's right, yeah, absolutely.
And it went off to a really hot start. It did amazing day
Yes,
one.
yes, absolutely, yeah. We did 200K in 2 days, in the two first days. So it was I would say that, I mean, we worked really hard on this, but we didn't know it will go that well on the first day. So we're grateful. Thank you, thank you.
It's always a pleasant surprise when it shoots out like that.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about Chronicles of Crime, and I'll switch over to the board now so we can show that off. What is Chronicles of Crime?
Chronicles of Crime is a cooperative game of criminal investigation that is very much story-driven. But it has something very specific that no story are written on the material. The material, I can show you some cards if you want to show some close-up. Basically, you have characters with a QR code. You have a bunch of evidence card, basically, that have some text. They are basically category of evidence. You have everybody can have a forensic contact. Those forensic contacts are not you. There are people you can call at any point, and they all have a specialty. This is a hacker, but you have the forensic laboratory, the morgue, the criminologist. And you have locations. You have, at this point, actually, I think we have 16 locations on lock. And there are basically different places in London, which is the first setting of the game, where you go. As you've seen, all those cardboard have a small QR code. So don't worry, you don't need to download a QR code and do some weird stuff and go to some website. We actually put together an app that basically just uses this protocol to communicate with the physical, between physical and digital. So how does it work? Well, this is a setup. You have this is it. Basically, you put your police station, your board, and you just follow the story. And so I'm just going to start reading, and we're going to go through it. So,
sounds good.
Chief Officer Dole, character 33, has summoned you to his office. So for the first time, the app tells me to go look for a character, character 33, and I'm just going to put it right here. Oh, should I put it? Let me put it here. Here we go. Yep. Okay. Next, your team has been put in charge of a murder which happened today in Hyde Park, location D. Can you look for a location D for me?
Location D, sure thing.
Once there, you can find the gardener, character 40, who has discovered the body of character 10. Okay, so let's so there's 6 location slots up here. Yes, I was showing them one here. Like there's on each side of the board you have this location. They are meant to really kind of help you draw kind of a nice tableau of things. And character 40 is the gardener, and character 10 is the body. Come back to the police station when you know who did it. So basically, the app walk you through the setup. So one of the beauty of the game is that you really don't need to read the rule book. We have a very thin rule book, but you really don't need to read it, and just let you walk through by the app. So how does it work? Well, basically, you scan things. You scan a location to move to it. You scan someone to talk to it. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna scan this this location here, and I just moved to Hyde Park. We just moved to Hyde Park.
Okay.
The victim's body is still here. You can investigate the crime scene or interrogate the gardener. So to interrogate people, as I just mentioned, you simply scan their QR code.
And so we're going to start asking them questions.
Exactly. And the gardener is next to the crime scene. He seems a bit in panic, but he's willing to answer any question. What do you want to talk about? So when you click on someone, he might give you a small introduction, but the goal is to basically cross-reference everything to him.
Okay.
You can ask any question to anyone about anybody or any evidence you found. At this point, we only have a body, so I'm just going to scan the body.
So we're just going to ask the gardener about the body, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can put it here just so that you see how it looks like in context. I don't know if it's visible, but basically
I could put this in the card.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's a good idea. Here we go. So basically, the way it works is that you can see really in context that the gardener is talking to us. I don't really know her, but we had a fight this morning because a little girl was ripping out my flower. Do you know how much time is needed to? Can you click next?
Sure.
I was surprised after lunch when I saw she committed suicide, so I called the police. What else could I do? All right, so we don't have much clue on this, and obviously he says it's a suicide. So how much can we trust him? Not much. So in the app there's 2 or 3 places where you have a button that says search for clue. And when you go search for clue, you have the option of using this little thing. This is actually not in the base game. The reason we don't put this in the base game is because you need a phone that's 2 years old, and putting in the base game will mean that it's kind of overpromising. It will work for everybody. So it's actually an add-on on the side, but we have it, so we're going to play with it. You just put it in the middle of your phone.
Okay.
And you click that button, and actually what you're going to do is search for clues. So go through it and tell us what you do. So it's really VR. So it might be behind you, at the top, at the bottom. You need to move your body really physically and search on the floor. So while you're doing this, you need to tell us out loud what you see, and I need to look for a category of evidence that matches.
Like I see a purse that's spilled open on the floor.
Very well.
I see a little doll.
Doll.
Let's see. Oh, this is really awesome. I see a shovel, bloody shovel.
Shovel.
That leads me to believe something bad.
Blood.
There. I see a needle on the floor over there.
Needle.
Oh, man. Oh, I have a time limit.
Yeah, there's a time limit.
Oh, no. Oh.
That's it. So, a couple things about the time limit. We are board gamers. We don't like apps, right? So with great power comes great responsibility. And one of them is to make sure that not one person hold on to that phone the entire night.
Right.
So the idea that there's 45-second searching for clue per person. Also, you see those stuff are really large. It's kind of on purpose because I can't do this. So I will give the game over. Can you scan it for me, please? Like to do this, you say that the idea is that there is a lot of design decisions so that that phone doesn't stay in one hand. And obviously, because we have those criminologists and those things, can you ask your scientist Nicole, to do this, for example. But back to the clues, you found a couple things. So the evidence we have here are categories. So you told me a shovel, and what I have here is a gardening tool. Okay. I'm gonna scan it, and I'm gonna give it to you so that you can show how it looks like. So and it says you pick up a shovel on the floor. It's slightly dented. And it says you found a clue. So it literally shows us physically that we found a clue and we need to put it on the board. So let's put it on the board right here.
So what you're saying is I did a good job.
You did a very good job. Now let's. You said there was a bag. Yeah. You have found a handbag. There's a wallet inside showing that it belongs to Emily Gérard. You've also found an address in Kazakhstan disk screen F. So you just found a new address.
Oh,
so let's look for a new address.
And you said F.
F, exactly.
Yep, here we go there.
Yep. So put this here.
Oh, so we're going to add this to a new location.
Exactly, yeah. So that's how you find new places that you can move to and interact with more people. Just to conclude my demo, I'm just going to scan this gardener. And now that we have, and we have a bag and a shovel. So I'm going to ask him now, because those are official evidence. I can ask him a question about it.
So we can start talking.
Exactly. So yep, that's my shovel. I left it there for lunch. It was a mistake, and I should have learned from that time. A homeless guy at cart 34 stole my tools from me.
So we're adding more people now.
Exactly.
That we can
exactly. And that's it. That's the end of my demo. So, but it shows you, how you search for clue, how you find people, how you interrogate them. The depth of the game is really about an insane amount of text and richness that you really have to figure out what to ask to who, and in a timely fashion. Obviously, very much like a Sherlock Holmes consultative detective, every action you do costs some time. Mm-hmm. So every question is 5 minutes, every movement is 20 minutes. So there is this extra time pressure.
Very awesome. I mean, just from the small part that we played right now, mm-hmm. with the I love the inclusion of the VR there, where you can you're actually hunting for clues and the stress of the time limit, and I've got to see what I can find. Mm-hmm. It felt like I was kind of immersed into one of those classic crime scene shows. Like if I'm in CSI and I'm looking for clues and we're interrogating people, and it's really nice the way that everything is so seamlessly linked together, where it's like, oh, okay, so now we found stuff, so I'm going to ask him about the stuff that we found. And I love the fact that the QR codes here make it so that way I'm not hunting through a book and doing a choose your own adventure style where I have to find all these things and then Also, that way you have a tendency to spoil it for yourself by reading ahead when you're not supposed to.
Exactly. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of taking the best of the technology. One thing that it enables us to do is that any of those people can become anybody. So we have at this point we have over 8 authors signed with us. People like Mark Renagan has signed for one scenario, and so the way it works that this girl, for example, she is the victim in this scenario, but she actually could be the girlfriend of the killer in another one.
So these are just nameless faces that we have here.
Exactly.
So that way, as the game goes on in the next scenario, she might be someone completely different. It's just a way for you to link that character to a face.
Exactly. Yes. So it gives this almost infinite replayability as long as there are new scenario. I mean, the scenario themselves are fully written, full of cliffhanger and event thing that you cannot really play once. Maybe you can play twice if you get it wrong, and there's plenty of different way. Some people the first time they played might think it was linear because they took a path, but actually if they do it again, they realize actually there's so many ways to get to the truth. Yeah, so that was one last thing that I love to talk about this game, to close up on this, is the fact that because we have this app, we know how well you're doing or not as you're playing. And Unlock, for example, has this clue system where you can decide to kind of pay with points to get a clue when you're already blocked. Well, we don't do this here. Actually, in this game, if you see that you've already missed something in that crime scene, for example, like the game will know, and at some point will help you. And the way it will do it, for example, you'll receive a phone call from the chief police officer. Hey, we just cleaned up the crime scene and just found that stuff here. Go talk to my character 44 in location F. He will give you more about what we found.
So it helps you so you don't get dead-ended in case you miss something.
Exactly, exactly, cool. Yeah. So I think as a player of Showcoms Consultative, it can be pretty frustrating sometimes where you really miss something and you just really don't know where to go, and you spend really 45 minutes turning around. So the game has this this catching up element to it based on event.
Very cool. So is there anything else about Chronicles of Crime that you wanted to talk about today?
I think we've seen everything.
It looks fantastic. So you've got a few more games on the table
yes.
here. You want to talk about those briefly?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So so we have basically a party game line of things, which I would love for you guys to maybe show those things in the future when they come closer. Zombie Tsunami is a game that we kickstarted last year, and that's finally coming to retail probably early next month, early April. It's 3 to 6 player games of basically dice rolling, well, zombie rolling. Actually, I put some in my pocket to bring them here. They are not in that box. Actually, it's green, so you can't put it in your in your close-up.
The face might look really interesting when I.
But try to come here. So basically, I'll put it on the purple. Here we go. So basically, those little monsters, they're actually zombies. They carry 2 purposes. They are your score, so you need to have the most as much as possible before the end of the game. But there are also elements because you play with them, you roll them. They basically jump. The humans in this game, the players are a horde of zombies, and they try to be the biggest horde of zombies at the end of the game, and the humans are trying to stop us. And so there is a strong bluffing element in this game because we have hidden roles. There's 3 rounds, and each round we have a different role, and some of those roles are traitors that basically the group will have to find through that round, so that's Zombie Tsunami. It plays in 30 to 45 minutes.
How many players is that?
It's 3 to 6 players,
okay.
And that's coming early. Exactly. And then we have Fruit Ninja. So you guys showed the Fruit Ninja, the card game, but this game, the one you showed, is not the first one going to retail. The first one going to retail is this one.
Fruit Ninja Combo Party.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I'm going to quickly put on the table and maybe show you here. So maybe zoom out a little bit. So in Combo Party is kind of a mix between a Jungle Speed and a Push Your Luck drafting game.
Okay.
The way it works is that everybody gets 12 cards. And I'll give you 12 cards. It doesn't matter what they are. Actually, just a stack of cards. The way it works is that we all pick one card. They are not even shuffled, so it's really just for the demo. We all pick a card, put it in front of that totem, reveal it at the same time, and if 2 of them out of up to 6 players are the same, those players can try to grab this thing. That's very simple, but that's really just a small part of the game. Now we take those cards. Those cards, there's basically 6 fruit times 12, so it's basically 6 fruit. So that's 72 cards. You put it in front of you, and you pass the deck around. So you will give me my deck, and I get my deck.
Okay.
And you try to build what's called a combo. There's 2 types of combo. It's either all the same cards. So basically, I would do something like this. It will be like all the same fruit. Yep, yeah, exactly. Or strictly different fruits. Something like this. For example, I have the kiwi, I have the pear, watermelon. What's interesting is that when you move your deck, before getting that deck, you need to decide if you want to score or if you want to push your luck. You've seen some of this card, you might know what it is or what it's not, and it's very tempting, obviously, to push your luck, because the bigger your combo, the more points you make.
Absolutely.
But obviously, if you fail your combo, you don't get as much point. So it plays super fast. It plays in 2 rounds. Each round lasted, I would say, 10 minutes. So it's very fast. It has this energy and this franticness of a good jungle speed, but it has all this almost math or memory kind of pokerish thing where you're trying to remember what you've seen, and if you can do this based also on what they have played and what has been done. So it's I would love for you guys to try this game. I think it will be something that's.
I think that would be a riot to show up on the stream, especially with everyone trying to.
Yeah.
At the same time. Yeah.
It always bring a good splash of energy around the table. So yep. So that's Fruit Ninja. It was actually picked up by Asmodee in Europe, and it's coming to the US probably around June.
Fantastic. So where will we be able to find it when it does come to the retail shops?
Probably most of the retail. It should be everywhere, hopefully.
Okay, fantastic. And then finally, Chronicles of Crime is currently still live on Kickstarter, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
So everyone go check that out. Their Kickstarter is running right now for Chronicles of Crime. Really fun trying that out. I'm really excited to dive into that a little bit more when I get the opportunity. But Vince, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today?
That's all. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank all of you for watching at home. Stay tuned for more great coverage coming throughout the day from the GAMA convention here in Reno, Nevada. As usual, I'm Matt. Thanks again, Vincent.
Bye. Thank you, guys.